What's up, everybody? I'm gonna review a video of 3 spiritual teachers telling people why they shouldn't eat meat.
When we are talking about our sankalp,
Nice
and our
dark
sanskars
circles.
and our world, a very important role that is
A
played
picture of
there is the
health.
food we eat and the
How
water
can you
we
listen
drink.
to her when it comes to the food that you should eat?
Jaisa pani, vaisi vani, which means as will be my food, so will be my mind, as will be my water, so will be my vocabulary, my words. And which means food is not just nutrition for the body. Food is vibrations. It's energy. So it has 3 categories.
Okay.
So I want divinity, purity, peace, happiness, but I'm consuming food which has violence and death. So it just will
Makes
not
sense.
match. So if I want to have a clean...
If you look at what happens to vegans or vegetarians also, which is probably what she's teaching, then you will see that that is violence towards humans. These people have no connection to nature. They are completely brainwashed by this religion.
Pure mind, it begins with my anna, the food that I'm eating. This is also an experiment that we can do. Everything spirituality and science, why they go hand in hand? Because both say experiment. They don't say belief. They'll say experiment. Experiment, experience. When you get the experience, that's truth for you. We all know that animals have feelings, thoughts, emotions. We all know what happens in the slaughterhouse, right? So we just have to pause for 30 seconds and ask ourselves, what does that animal go through in the slaughterhouse? So what are the emotions that are there? It would be hatred, anger, resentment, fear, hurt, pain, and helplessness.
What emotions do any animals go through in nature when they are killed? Of course, animals that are killed and usually eaten alive, that's not how it is in slaughterhouses, will have fear and pain. That's common sense. If there's any religion that she's following, it is Satanism, because she's completely going against nature.
And this is an emotion of the animal for many days. And after this spectrum of emotions comes violence, because the animal is killed, and then death. So hatred, anger, resentment, fear, helplessness, violence, death. And after all this, it comes in our plate and we say proteins and health.
Actually, when you look at the psychology of vegans, they are very angry, commit violence and murder, because they are malnourished. When a carnivorous animal doesn't eat meat, it won't have empathy for anybody. That's how it is for vegans. They can't feel anything because of the malnutrition. Once you start eating meat, everybody reports that they connect to themselves and nature and all the humans around them. As a vegan, you will usually hate people around you.
So it just does not match. It just does not match.
The Hindu religion doesn't have
Another picture of
this
health.
forbidding
What is this?
tone. You do this or you will go to hell.
Absolutely
You
underweight.
do this and you will go to heaven. The Hindu religion just makes you aware of the consequences of actions. So it doesn't forbid you from meat eating, but it tells you the consequences of what you eat. The Bhagavad Gita talks about 3 kinds of foods. There are foods in the mode of goodness, foods in the mode of passion, and foods in the mode of ignorance. Foods in the mode of goodness are those, the natural stuff that God has created for humans, the vegetables, the fruits.
Okay, all of the fruits shown in the video are man-made. They don't exist in nature. Again, he's brainwashed like the other woman. The vegetables don't exist in nature. Broccoli doesn't exist at all. The carrots look completely different. They are inedible, bitter. The seeds, you can't find them in nature, and when you eat them raw, you will die. And when you cook them, you will get the anti-nutrients and destroy your digestive system. The reason they drink milk is because they don't eat meat and try to get as much of the animal nutrients as possible. It doesn't make any sense at all. not to eat meat if you eat other animal products. You can't call it unhealthy because you're consuming cholesterol and saturated animal fat. That's the stuff that they say is unhealthy. It's still in your diet, except that you don't get creatine, for example, and you will lack iron and so on.
The milk of the cow, the grains. When you eat these, your body becomes healthy, your mind becomes calm and peaceful, and your inner being becomes
Not the case with
conducive
any
to
vegans or
enlightenment.
vegetarians. None of them are peaceful.
So you
Never met a
experience
peaceful
peace,
vegan.
contentment and satisfaction through the mode of goodness. When you eat foods in the mode of passion, this inflames the material desires. It sends the mind into a spin. I want this, I need this, I have to do that. So
Absolute
the person
nonsense.
becomes agitated.
So mentally ill people listen to
And
him and
then
actually believe what he's
Bhagavad
saying.
Gita says there are foods in the mode of ignorance. These are dry foods. These are stale, putrefied foods, intoxicating foods, and all the non-vegetarian foods.
But it's plant-based.
When we take these, it increases our anger, the inclination to violence, laziness.
What it means is, we are taking another life, whatever that is, it may be plant life, animal life, whatever.
At
You're
least he
taking
admits
another
that.
life, ingesting it, and you have to make it your life. That's the whole thing. What is your life, what is that life, if you look at it? Now, the idea is to eat as simple a software as possible. If you eat that kind of life, which is a very simple software, your ability to override that software and make it entirely a part of you is very good. As that software gets complex, more and more complex, your ability to integrate it goes down. So especially if it's a creature which has some sense of thought and emotion, if it has emotion, then you should not eat it. This is the understanding. An animal which has any emotion displays certain emotions, especially if it displays emotion which is near to human emotion, you should not eat it because it will not integrate itself, that animal nature will start manifesting itself.
That's
Wow. The simpler the life, the more likely you should eat it. Although somehow it's also the highest vibrational food. What? You gotta be completely brain damaged. It doesn't make any sense at all. Of course you should eat the highest vibrational food, the ones that have the most thoughts and all of that. That's why people who eat raw meat, not cooked meat, feel so incredible, because they're consuming the most energy. That's common sense.
the proper way of doing it, isn't it? Now, interestingly, many people are unaware, but the early Christians were vegetarians.
Uh-huh.
The history of Christianity informs us that the early Christians were vegetarians.
Except
When
that Jesus
Christianity
said,
first spread
drink
into
blood.
the Roman Empire, if a Christian was caught, they would take meat and push it down their throat just to annoy them. The early Buddhists, the primary teaching of the Buddha was vegetarianism, right? So Hinduism is not the only scripture or only religious tradition that talks about vegetarianism. It has been practiced around the
I'm gonna link my documentary, The NWO Diet. It has all the Ayurveda texts that used to teach that, of course, eating meat is the best for our health.
world. And slowly, slowly, the Western world is also coming to this realization that, wow, vegetarianism is such a boon, and they are linking it to good health. It's a medical fact that meat eaters have a 200% chance of catching cancer compared to non-meat eaters. And why is that?
Wow! How can you be so dumb? How can you use the word fact when talking about your beliefs? Anybody who says fact when they try to push their own beliefs is a liar or just really stupid. There's no such thing as medical fact. Those are all beliefs. Yes, they do experiments, but you still have to read them and believe them. These kind of people also read religious books and believe that those are facts. It has nothing in any way to do with facts. That's something you know. This is literally the definition of belief.
Meat putrefies so rapidly. So it needs to be expelled quickly. That is why the carnivorous animals have very small intestines. It comes in and...
It's because you don't need to digest it long.
The human intestines are 10 times the body length. When meat remains in the system...
What? 10 times the body length of what? It's been proven that it's 5 times the body length. For cats it's 4 times and for dogs 6 times.
For so long, it causes disease. This human body was made herbivorous. It was not made carnivorous.
He's lost.
If you see our teeth structure, we got molars all the way for grinding.
Those are not molars. Look at how a cow's teeth look like.
Teeth.
Those are molars.
For cutting the flesh, they don't have molars. And humans have got molars all the way. The carnivores only
what are you talking about? What kind of teeth do you have? I don't have those kind of teeth. I only have teeth for chewing meat.
Grind their food. So if you see biologically as well, we humans were made to be herbivores. Nevertheless, the Vedas say that it is a choice that you make based upon what your goals and aspirations are.
Wow. Okay. Tall nutters. That anybody listens to them, that's the messed up thing. Anyway, plants don't have over 50 nutrients. These people don't have a clue about it. Of course, they don't have to care about all of them so much if they consume raw dairy. So of course, this is not the same as veganism, but they still teach it to people. They're still dangerous and against human health and nature. If anything, those are Satanists. And they look like it. They look malnourished. They don't look the way a natural human being should look when they are healthy. And that's because they don't eat our natural diet. Thanks for watching.